This object you see here was caught on camera flying past the SpaceX rocket just minutes after liftoff last week.
1, 0, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
Space has always held many mysteries and awe-inspiring occurrences that defy our limited understanding of the universe. One such incident occurred when a large unidentified object appeared on the live camera feed from the International Space Station. This chilling occurrence has sparked widespread curiosity, forcing NASA to turn off the live feed. What was the unidentified object? What was it doing around Earth's orbit? Join us as we uncover the mystery of the strange, unidentified object that made NASA shut down the live feed at the International Space Station. Number 1. Strange object breaks into our orbit. People all over the world are still having difficulty identifying the object that appeared on the International Space Station's live feed. Skeptics have stated that it's probably space debris, a camera bug, or a component of the International Space Station. In contrast, those who are curious about the unknown have claimed that this isn't the first time that the International Space Station cameras have seen unusual things. Let's first examine the nature of this incident. An object far bigger than the typical specks of light or passing entity was visible on the public live video feed from the International Space Station, providing a unique viewpoint on our globe and the vastness of space. When shadows appeared in the camera feed at the location of this unexplained object, there was an instant rush of excitement and many theories made on its potential origins. The object's size, visibility, and proximity to the space station supported the assertions of those who were inclined to believe in extraterrestrial visitation, which saw it as possible proof of a spacecraft. Such incidents serve as reminders of the vastness of space and the multitude of phenomena that remain unexplained. They also highlight the need for continued space exploration and scientific investigation, motivated by our innate curiosity and the desire to better understand the cosmos. The sighting was proposed as an indication of advanced civilizations showing interest in human space activities, or perhaps observing Earth. First and foremost, it's important to understand that maintaining a live feed from space is no small task. It requires a seamless interplay of cutting-edge terrestrial infrastructure and space-based equipment. Oddly enough, shortly after this object was seen, the live camera broadcast was turned off. Disruptions in the live feed can be caused by a variety of things unrelated to the appearance of unknown objects, such as malfunctioning hardware, lost data transmission, or problems with software. The unexpected emergence of an unidentified object may be of great scientific importance. Pausing the live feed enables scientists to examine the incident in greater detail, possibly with the use of specialized tools or methods. This helps guarantee that an accurate understanding is derived, unhindered by public opinion or hasty conclusions about the airspace surrounding the Earth, which is a matter of national security as well as science. The live feed might be paused to allow for a private, secure analysis by the proper authorities if an object is found that might be connected to covert operations or unidentified technology. Of course, the most compelling theory is that NASA is concealing evidence of extraterrestrial life. However, maintaining public trust during a sighting may require temporarily stopping the live feed, despite its seeming counterintuitive nature. If an object cannot be identified and explained right away, leaving the feed running could spark wild speculation, confusion, or even panic. By waiting for all the facts to be in before making a public statement, NASA can provide accurate information, upholding its reputation as a trustworthy source of scientific knowledge. Though exciting, it's important to remember that such a discovery would be a significant scientific accomplishment that is unlikely to be kept a secret. For decades, the concept of unidentified objects has captured people's attention, despite the fact that many sightings on Earth are still under debate. Unidentified objects appearing close to the International Space Station is an intriguing and lesser-known phenomenon. The International Space Station is a cooperative space endeavor involving multiple nations that orbits Earth approximately every 90 minutes, providing astronauts with amazing views of our planet. However, among these breathtaking views, some astronauts have claimed to have seen strange, unidentified objects traveling through space. These strange sightings at the International Space Station have aroused interest and concern in the public and scientific community as they contradict conventional wisdom regarding the existence of advanced life. Since the station's founding in 1998, astronauts have made these claims on multiple occasions. These accounts are compelling because they come from highly trained professionals with keen eyes and scientific backgrounds. In 2005, astronaut Leroy Chiao recorded video footage showing a usual fast-moving object outside the space station during their missions. Similarly, during a live broadcast in 2016, astronaut Jeff Williams witnessed a mysterious glowing object that he could not explain.
Absolutely. This is adding a significant chunk of power to the electrical power to the space station.
Additionally, in 2020, astronaut Chris Cassidy reported seeing an unidentified object with a frosted appearance while conducting a spacewalk. Experts and scientists have put forth a number of theories to explain these mysterious events in response to reports of sightings at the space station. Since the International Space Station operates in low Earth orbit, debris from defunct satellites or rocket stages could be a possible explanation for such sightings. Debris could appear like fast-moving objects. Another theory is that some of the sightings could have been optical tricks or natural occurrences that the astronauts mistook for unknown objects in the vastness of space caused by cosmic radiation. Astronauts' perceptions may be distorted by atmospheric distortions or reflections from spacecraft windows, leading them to feel they have spotted strange objects. However, there is still a portion of sightings that defy accepted theories and cast doubt on our knowledge of the universe. These sightings continue to fascinate scientists and the general public, encouraging more inquiry into the possibility of extraterrestrial life and advanced civilizations. The possibility of unidentified objects at the International Space Station adds a new dimension to the search for answers about life beyond Earth. If these objects are, in fact, advanced spacecraft, it could fundamentally alter our understanding of the universe and our place within it. The finding of advanced life is a significant question that has captivated the human race for centuries. If reports of advanced civilizations are accurate, then the possibility of intelligent life raises important questions about the origin, evolution, and distribution of life in the universe. It also implies that our galaxy may be teeming with advanced species, each with its own distinct history and culture. In addition, these sightings at the space station emphasize the significance of global cooperation in the exploration of space and the need for greater collaboration to solve the mysteries of the universe. Such a revelation challenges our anthropocentric view of the universe and humbles us as we consider our significance in the vastness of space. The International Space Station itself is a representation of international cooperation in space exploration and knowledge-seeking, highlighting the possibilities for such cooperation. While some of the sightings can be explained by space debris or optical illusions, unidentified object occurrences at the International Space Station remain a puzzling component of space exploration to this day. Whether these sightings will ultimately be linked to advanced civilizations or will simply remain a mysterious aspect of our cosmic journey, they already leave an indelible mark on our knowledge of the universe and how we fit within it. The quest for answers to these sightings acts as a reminder of the constant mystery and wonder that lies beyond the borders of our planet, urging us to keep exploring the universe with an open mind and a sense of wonder missing. Some of the sightings remain unexplained, piquing our curiosity about the possibility of advanced life. Stars may indicate extraterrestrial life. While unidentified objects roaming our orbit is cause for concern, the issue of disappearing stars leave many with great concerning as well. Number 2. Stars disappeared for no reason. Comparing images of the Lupus, the Wolf constellation taken in 1950 and again in 2016 revealed a particular star was missing. This finding on its own is not particularly mysterious, but further research revealed that hundreds of other unaccounted-for stars had vanished over the years with no apparent cause.
The brilliancy of stars is slowly diminishing until their vibrant glow vanishes.
An astounding new study that aims to explain how so many stars could vanish without leaving a trace has been published in the Astronomical Journal. The report's authors, led by Beatrice Villarreal, state that there is no known physical process by which a star could physically disappear unless it falls directly into a black hole. The implications of discovering such objects extend beyond the realm of traditional astrophysics to more exotic searches for signs of highly developed civilizations. The authors essentially think that the involvement of extraterrestrial life is one of the most convincing explanations for the disappearing stars. They have identified so-called hotspots where a surprisingly high number of missing stars appeared to be present, and they think that focusing on these locations will allow for more research and analysis. which may lead to the identification of potential extraterrestrial life locations. The researchers conducting this study acknowledge that this could be a possible explanation for hundreds of stars abruptly disappearing. Many researchers believe that if advanced alien civilizations existed, they would have most likely established what is fictitiously known as a Dyson sphere. This megastructure would allow the civilization to cover a star and harness the reactions happening on this staff or energy. Though scientists are reluctant to accept theories like this, especially in light of how frequently theories of extraterrestrial activity have been shown to have far more plausible explanations. Even if the disappearance of these stars was not caused by aliens, figuring out what natural event made them blink out of view would still be a significant advancement for science. Villarreal pointed out that discovering a vanishing star, or a star that suddenly appears, would be a priceless discovery that would undoubtedly involve new discoveries in astrophysics beyond what is already known. Thus, in the interim, scientists are still looking into the reasons behind this disappearance in the hopes of finding extraterrestrial life or discovering novel, hitherto undiscovered astrophysical principles. Strange activities are, however, not just relegated to stars, as even the sun has seen some strange and rare eruptions that left many observers in awe. Number 3. Massive explosion on the sun. Huge is probably an understatement when it comes to the eruption captured by the solar orbiter's extreme ultraviolet imager. It is the largest solar significant eruption ever seen in a single image, and it also shows the sun in its full glory, shooting millions of miles into space from the sun's surface. Fortunately, the ejection was not directed towards Earth. While other spacecraft have previously captured images of solar prominences, the ejection quartz magnitude was either smaller than this one, or their positioning or distance meant that the sun's disk was not fully featured in the image, as it was in this case. Solar prominences are complex phenomena. They are large tangled magnetic field line structures, which occasionally resemble arching loops, and are responsible for maintaining high concentrations of solar plasma hanging above the sun's surface. They are frequently linked to coronal mass ejections, which can seriously disrupt daily life and technology if they are aimed towards Earth. This was a complete milestone observation in space, and the mission's rare image is expected to provide a lot of data surrounding solar activities for the joint NASA-European team behind the mission. They are huge formations of tangled magnetic field lines that maintain strong concentrations of solar plasma hanging above the sun's surface, occasionally taking the shape of arching loops, according to a statement released by the European Space Agency. Furthermore, they are frequently linked to coronal mass ejections, which are periodic outbursts of charged particles from the sun. On Earth, however, coronal mass ejections cause significant disruptions because they tamper with technologies like satellites, electricity lines, and other comparable systems. The solar orbiter's next circumnavigation of the sun is scheduled for March 26th. It is anticipated that this orbit will be even closer than the previous one, providing numerous opportunities for the collection of amazing new data. Speaking of collecting new data, the James Webb Space Telescope is doing an amazing job as it numbers the galaxies in our cosmos. Number 4. James Webb Telescope captures countless galaxies. The James Webb Telescope has produced some very amazing photographs, offering us views and perspectives that we never would have imagined at resolutions that are just astounding. These images are stunning, but specialists know there is much more to be discovered in them. The fortunate photo that was chosen as this month's image of the month features several galaxies. The spiral galaxy with the memorable name Leda 204, 6648 is visible on the bottom left-hand side of the picture. This galaxy is located more than 1 billion light-years away from us, and those who are especially skilled at spotting these feats can also spot this galaxy inside the Hercules constellation. We have just now had a chance to view this picture for ourselves. It has been months in the making. Webb has been working to gather data and make observations in order to get pictures of exoplanets and galaxies. This image is possible due to Webb's special powers. The telescope can view infrared light, a type of light that is invisible to the human eye because it travels in longer wavelengths than visible light and can pass through dense cosmic clouds that obstruct the stars and other details inside galaxies. The picture was taken during the commissioning process of the near-infrared imager and slitless spectrograph known as NIRISS, one of the many parts of the James Webb Space Telescope. At the time, Nereus was examining a white dwarf star when the near-infrared camera took this breathtaking picture of Leda 2046648 and its far-off pals in the sky. Investigating what is happening in the far-off universe is one of the James Webb Space Telescope's primary goals. Although this image of Leda 2046648 is not an example of deep-field imaging, it is one avenue that has produced many similar shots. Seeing how far-off lights can become magnified and warped is possible through a process called gravitational lensing, which is one way that the Webb telescope's deep-field imagery allows us to see the oldest sources. It is truly amazing to see such a gorgeous photo, and even more amazing to know that there is so much more in it that we are yet to see. In a universe with countless unknown, it is interesting that known planets is still surprising us. Scientists at NASA were left marveling at the brightest light they have ever seen on Jupiter. Number 5. NASA observes brightest light yet on Jupiter. A mystery that had been unresolved since 1992 has been resolved as scientists from the New Star Space Observatory have recently discovered the brightest light ever recorded from Jupiter, making it the first telescope to ever detect such high-energy light from the gas giant. The reason behind the Ulysses mission's lack of X-ray observations during its flight past Jupiter is now evident. Yes, X-rays are a type of light, however. They are invisible to the human eye due to their much greater energy and wavelengths. However, astrophysicist Kayamori notes that it is extremely difficult for planets to generate X-rays in the range that New Star detects, so how precisely did scientists see this coming from Jupiter? Ulysses was specifically capable of sensing higher energy X-rays, which would mean it would have been able to witness some level of light when passing over Jupiter. Jupiter's magnetosphere functions as a massive particle accelerator due to its strong magnetic field and rapid rotation, which enables the planet to emit higher energy radiation. But since Ulysses was able to detect higher energy X-rays in 1992, why can't it do the same now? According to a recent study, bremstrelon, an incredibly fast-moving set of electrons, is caused by the light that NASA's spacecraft Juno can detect with its Jovian Auroral Distributions experiment, known as JADE, and its Jupiter Energetic Particle Detector instrument, known as JEDI. These particles produce light when the electrons come into contact with charged atoms in Jupiter's atmosphere. According to University College London professor William Dunn, the finding of these emissions raises more questions. The new star that departed Earth on June 13, 2012, left behind whirling magnetic fields that can accelerate particles, but we still don't fully understand how they may get to such high speeds. A decade later, we are benefiting from this new understanding, but who knows what will be discovered in the ensuing 10 years. As far as marvels go, imagine this: a black hole system closest to Earth with no black holes in it. Number 6. Scientists dispel myths of no black holes near the Earth. In 2020, a group of astronomers from the European Southern Observatory announced that they had discovered a black hole that was thought to be the closest to Earth in the HR 6819 system, located just 1,000 light-years away. Sometimes, when we make a scientific discovery, we need to undo something we thought we knew in order to disprove the existing research theories and hypotheses. Nevertheless, this claim was not widely accepted. A paper published in March 2022 claims that there is no black hole in this black hole system. So what have we found if there isn't a black hole in HR 6819? The Belgian team suggests that the discovery is what is known as a vampire two-star system, which is in a rare stage of its life cycle, making it less easily identifiable. Since science is about generating discoveries and expanding knowledge rather than accepting everything as true, the original study accepted this critique. Lead author of the first study and astronomer Thomas Ravinius, who is based in Chile, stated that it is reasonable and even necessary for the results to be carefully examined in light of the data the team had at their disposal. They thought the initial conclusion appeared to be rather realistic. HR 6819 was a triple system, meaning that two stars orbited the same black hole over a significantly longer length of time, one star for 40 days and the other for much longer. The teams determined that gathering new data and utilizing a variety of equipment would reveal which hypothesis was more accurate. The Belgian study, led by Julia Bowden-Steiner, suggested that there are two stars in the system, both on a 40-day orbit. Nevertheless, there was no black hole. This means that earlier in the timeline, One of these stars must have been much bigger, but over time lost a portion of its size and mass to the smallest star. To help obtain more conclusive data, the Very Large Telescope and Very Large Telescope Interferometer were utilized. The recently merged teams established that HR 6819 is, in fact, a binary system without a black hole, and that there was not a brighter star in a broader orbit. This group is carrying out ongoing observations as part of a collaborative investigation to determine the limits and evolution of the real location of the nearest black hole to Earth. Even inside Mother Earth, scientists are making new and wonderful discoveries. There seems to be another layer that has just been discovered in our beautiful planet. Number 7. A new layer within the Earth. Physical scientists, geologists, and geographers prepare to see the rules. Though it's hard to see, your textbooks may be completely incorrect after all. It was previously believed with confidence that the Earth was made up of these layers: the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. However, new data analysts have suggested that the inner core is not actually the Earth's innermost layer. Thus, the discovered fifth layer is being labeled the innermost inner layer quite literally. Geophysicists believe they have determined that the Earth has 5 core layers, rather than just the traditional 4. By analyzing how long it takes for seismic waves to travel through this layer, and using models to predict variables like wave speed in the inner layer, the lead scientists from the Australian National University working on this case are confident in their discovery. They report that they used special search algorithms to track the history of Earth's seismic activities in its inner core, and have confirmed the existence of an innermost inner layer. Research indicates that there have been long-standing speculations regarding a possible fifth layer of the Earth's core, particularly with regard to the inner core's structure. However, no concrete evidence has been presented to support the theory that the inner core is made up of 2 layers rather than 1. The discovery of a new layer in the Earth's core is intriguing in and of itself, but it may also have implications for the story of the planet's history. By examining the minerals and rock that make up this layer, scientists believe they have discovered evidence of a change in the iron structure, which suggests the existence of another cooling event in the planet's history. Although the exact cause of this prehistoric event is unknown, it is thought to be a dramatic event in Earth's history. A significant advancement for theories of Earth's evolution. Who knows what else we might learn about our own planet? Meanwhile, all the way over in China, celebrations are in full display as it sends its first pictures from Mars. Number 8. China spacecraft transmits first ever footage from Mars. The newest space exploration mission of the China National Space Administration has produced some amazing news in the first few days of 2021. On February 5, 2021, images and video footage of the surface of Mars captured by China's Mars probe named Tianwen-1 were released. This video footage gives us a closer look than has never been possible before, providing a view of Mars's surface. On February 10, 2021, the probe entered the red planet's orbit and captured a clip of the surface of Mars, moving in and out of view. According to news reports, the incredible video footage from this ambitious and overwhelmingly successful mission shows the amazing feat. The equipment utilized for this amazing space exploration, Quest Tianwen-1, includes a Mars orbiter lander and solar-powered rover, and it weighs an incredible 5 tons. This space exploration breakthrough marks a significant advancement for the Beijing space program, which aims to rival NASA's U.S. advancements. Beijing space program's moniker, which translates to Questions to Heaven, represents a turning point for the exponential growth of the China National Space Administration. Current projections and growth markets indicate that the China National Space Administration may establish a space station fully manned by a crew soon, increasing the close quarters in space exploration. The United Arab Emirates' first interplanetary mission achieved this same feat, and the United Arab Emirates Hope probe entered Mars's orbit later that same week. Such close competition undoubtedly introduces new perspectives and even greater levels of success to the Beijing space mission, even though Mars has long proven to be a problem and a point of mystery in space research. Some stunning photographs from M87, previously thought to be an ordinary galaxy, is proving to be proof of an incredible occurrence. Number 9. Photographs from the M87 galaxy. The M87 galaxy, also known as NGC 4486, appears to be an ordinary oval galaxy, one of many elliptical galaxies in a cluster within the constellation of Virgo. However, M87 contains an amazing phenomenon, an incredible jet of electrons and other particles that travel at speeds that nearly rival the speed of light. Images of the blue jet blasting from the source, accompanied by the soft golden light of M87's many stars, were captured by the NASA Hubble Space Telescope. When astronomer H.D. Curtis observed what he called a curious straight ray within the radius of what is now known as M87 in 1918, it was the first indication of M87's jet. It wasn't until the 1950s, when our technology advanced, that we learned more about M87. It was discovered that the jet emanating from M87 had one of the strongest radio waves in the universe. Since then, scientists have studied M87 non-stop in an effort to learn all of its many secrets. Eventually, after decades of diligent work, astronomers have discovered the secret location of M87. There lies one of the universe's most notoriously dreaded objects, a massive black hole. It is thought to have consumed a mass equal to 2 billion times that of our Sun, giving it an enormously massive stature. This black hole is what drives the M87 jet. The detected radio waves and incredibly bright light visible from the black hole are caused by the electrons swirling inside the powerful magnetic fields surrounding the area. This phenomenon is known as synchrotron radiation of all cosmic jets, and M87 is by far the most well-known, providing scientists with invaluable insight into the laws of the universe. It also helps that this galaxy has the closest jet, which means that gathering information, though challenging, is not as difficult as gathering information about jets spawning in other galaxies. The jet of M87 is not unique. There are numerous more extraplanetary jets of pure energy that resemble it, the mysteries of which we have yet to fully understand. A massive black hole can produce jets when it eats gases or whole stars. These events are caused by radiation processes. Similarly, young stars can also occasionally form short-lived jets, but not to the same intensity as a black hole. Unfortunately, M87 is a full 50 million light-years away from Earth, making it nearly impossible for the Hubble Space Telescope's present model to see clearly enough into the galaxy to identify specific planets, stars, and objects. What is known is that the light seen in photos is composed of clusters of an astounding number of stars, roughly 15,000, that astronomers believe were formed very early in the universe's development, making them the forerunners of the second generation of stars. If you find black holes interesting, it might also interest you to know that tiny black holes might be visiting our planet soon. Number 10. Tiny black holes might collide with Earth. Scientists now believe that the universe may be entirely composed of tiny black holes, hurtling through space like cosmic bullets. Why do they think this? Well, they are running out of ideas to explain what the universe is made of, and while dark matter is a mysterious yet popular answer, it only accounts for 80% of the universe. Black holes are one of those things that, like dark matter, still confuse but also massively intrigue us about the universe. We all know how they stretch light and matter into their vacuum-like existence, making spaghetti out of anything that falls within their reach. So their new supporting theory consists of a large number of tiny black holes that have existed since the beginning of time. This does not necessarily solve many problems, but for more than 80 years, physicists have failed to find even the tiniest bit of evidence that dark matter exists, and that it does in fact dictate the gravitational forces that keep the remaining 20% of the universe's normal visible matter in check. Similarly, the new theory of tiny black holes helps to avoid the reality that we do not know. As a result, NASA cosmologists acknowledge that they are rapidly running out of ideas and that the likelihood of these fictitious miniature black holes striking Earth is dreadfully low. If they do exist, though, it is still possible that they could cause devastation due to their tiny size. They are about the size of a grain of rice, and their potential for deformation and intense heat. Scientists working on this theory believe they would only pass by Earth roughly once every 100 million years, so you won't have to worry about one hitting you just yet. Every day, we solve one mystery, learn something new, and create new problems for future generations to solve. It's not easy to solve existing puzzles, and nature seems to fear that there are things we simply won't know the answers to. But science repeatedly demonstrates that there is no limit to what is out there for us to learn. In fact, it is only getting bigger and more numerous every day. On the matter of dark matter, scientists might be nearing proof of its existence as they are now determined to hear it. if they cannot see it. Number 11. NASA finds evidence of dark matter noise. Whether it was the naked eye or state-of-the-art telescopes and satellites, scientists have been peering into space for centuries. These methods have allowed us to paint startlingly clear pictures of what the world looks like in the mysterious expanse beyond our atmosphere, even though they haven't always provided all the answers. In order to better understand space, scientists are now trying to hear it rather than just view it, and what they have discovered thus far has already proven to be revolutionary. The new NASA project employs a technique known as data sonification to convert data gathered over the years by several NASA missions into sounds. These missions include the Chandra X-ray Observatory, Hubble Space Telescope, and Spitzer Space Telescope, which have long allowed people to view space from Earth's surface and have now demonstrated that amazing things can also be found when we hear space. One of these noises, which the Bullet Cluster's data sonification process assembled, was recorded from pictures of what could be the first concrete evidence of dark matter. Many scientists have theorized the existence of dark matter, but it has proven to be extremely challenging to verify because the particles that make up dark matter cannot be seen or observed. They do not absorb a mantle that reflects light, so no electromagnetic radiation can be used to identify them. The only way that dark matter has been directly observed by researchers is by trying to measure the effects that it has on the objects in its immediate vicinity. Finally, sound waves transcribed from these effects measurements may have given researchers a new avenue to investigate and see it. Specifically, Chandra Observatory X-ray recordings reveal a region of gravitational lensing where hot gas from two merging galaxy clusters was quickly drawn away from what was thought to be dark matter. When the data was organized by frequency, spanning a range from dark matter operating at the lowest frequency to X-rays at the highest, each frequency was then assigned a pitch. At last, there was the low observable hum, the gravitational lensing of dark matter. Astronomers are hopeful that the study of dark matter in this way might reveal previously unknown secrets held by the elusive dark matter. These images of the Bullet Cluster were one of the first pieces of direct proof that researchers had of dark matter, which made it an easy choice for the data sonification project. Thanks for watching to the end. Remember to post a comment down below. For more videos like this one, kindly subscribe to our channel and hit the like button on this one.